Hi there, welcome to today's painting tutorial. Today we are going to paint some colorful plums with acrylic paints, so let's get started. I'm going to start with a size 3 flat brush, and I'm going to mix up a dark color. We'll take some of this purple, and I want to take a very small amount of black and a tiny bit of this dark brown, the burnt umber. Then we'll add more purple to that. Then let's bring that along the bottom. I'm going to try to get a crisp edge. And I'm going to add more purple. Keep bringing this color up. And then as we go, I want to add a bit of a highlight. So I'm going to pick up some white and just blend that in. And we'll do that on the left side as well. I'm going to try to sharpen this edge along the bottom. And then let's pick up some magenta and start feathering that magenta in. It's a really nice bold color. And then I'm going to start putting in some orange. You can pick up that orange and start putting that orange in there. And then we're going to go back to the purple. Bring that down. It's pretty dark at the top. And then I'm going to pick up the magenta and then bring that down a little bit. Let's crisp up this edge. And then in this center, we want it to have a highlight. So we'll pick up some, let's take some white and some magenta. And then start putting this in here as a highlight. And you can do loose brush strokes, move them in different directions. That'll give a nice effect. I'm going to take some of this, I'm going to rinse the brush. And then take some of this bluish gray and then just put a little bit of that on this bottom area. It's just a nice shadow highlight color. Okay, let's look at the other plum. So we're going to move back to that dark shadow that we mixed up and put that along this edge. And I can take a little bit of black, some of that dark brown, and then more of that purple to mix up that dark color. And let's try to get a crisp edge. I'll bring it up on this right side and around the top here. And then I want to get lighter, so we'll pick up, let's actually rinse the brush. And then pick up some straight purple. And start putting that in. Getting a nice gradation of color. Then we'll pick up the magenta. Let's actually bring more purple along this top area. And while it's still wet, we can think about highlights. So you can use this light bluish gray. Bring a few highlights in here. And you could also do that with some white paint to get some light purple highlights. And we'll go to the magenta. And bring that around this left side. And while it's still wet, let's take some white and put a few highlights in there. Could also try adding this bluish gray. And then I'm going to rinse the brush. And let's take some of the orange and then start putting that orange in. And then while it's still wet, we'll add some white. I'm going to bring this down as a reflective highlight and just put it in a few areas, just for some interest. Okay, so let's move to the branch. So I'm going to use this same brush. I'm going to take a little bit of green, bring that in along these branches. And then we'll take the dark brown and bring that in as well. And then I need a beige color, so let's mix that up. I have some yellow. Take a little bit of brown. Could add orange. Maybe a little more yellow. And that creates a nice beige. Let's put that in. So that's a highlight color. And then if you need to go back, you can go back with some of the dark shadow and bring that back in. I'm going to use this to attach some of these leaves. And then let's work on the leaves. Let's make a dark green, so we can take some burnt umber and some hooker's green and some of this grayish blue color and see if that can create a nice shadow color for the leaves. If you need it to be darker, add more brown. And then I'll take some of the lighter color and put that in there. Just doing pretty loose leaves here. And you can add some of the pure green. going to go back with this neutral green. And then you could also add some of this yellow in there as well. It creates a nice highlight. Okay, let's take a zero liner brush. I'm going to make a highlight color, so I'm going to take some white with some of this green and some of the yellow. And let's put that along the leaves. We're doing this pretty loose, just nice and painterly. Okay, so at this point you can go back and clean up any of your edges. I'm going to take some purple and clean up this edge here. We can clean up this one. Just keep your values in mind. Try to make everything nice and round. I'm going to go back with a size 8 flat brush. I'm going to take some purple paint and I'm going to start smoothing out some of these plums and just toning things down a little bit, creating a little bit more cohesion, dulling down some of these really bright highlights. Almost creating a glaze with some purple paint. Just going to create more cohesion and make things a little bit smoother and cohesive. Okay, and then I'm going to take a zero liner brush. I'm going to take some of this yellow and white, roll my brush around, and then I'm going to put a few details in this branch. And you could add more to the leaves if you wanted as well. Okay, and I think we will call this painting complete. Thank you so much for painting along with me. This is how you can paint some colorful plums with acrylic paints. I hope you gave it a try. Like and subscribe for more painting tutorials. Grab my free guide in the description below if you want to learn even more about painting, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!